Over Your Dead Body is a Japanese ghost story horror movie. This movie is kind of like two movies in one, a movie inside a movie, as the movie is mainly about this theater rehearsal, which is like the main part of the movie, but then it bleeds off into like the real life of the actor. So it's like two stories, the classic Japanese horror story that they're rehearsing, and just the strange events that happen to the actor guy. And so the story that they're rehearsing is about a samurai who is kind of poor. I wouldn't say he really has honor at all, and he's in love with this woman, but the father does not condone their marriage, as the father is wealthy in a sense and realizes that the samurai's all about the money and knows that he's kind of a deadbeat. Well, Samurai kills dad and plays it off like the dad just went away and ends up marrying this girl. Well, a couple years later, they have a kid, but this other family comes to the samurai and they're like, look, our daughter seen you one day at the market and she's fallen in love with you. Now, this family's super wealthy, and they tell the samurai, look, ditch your wife, ditch your kid, and marry our daughter, and basically you'll be rich. Well, reluctant at first, until he sees the money, he's like, screw it, let's do it. And basically, he ends up poisoning his wife, not killing her, but basically making her very ugly, and then setting this blind dude up to have sex with her. And basically, because that happens, he kills both of them like it wasn't him who set it up. And from that, the ghost of the dead wife haunts him, and that's about the rehearsal part of the movie. And it seems that in real life, the actor dude's kind of a scumbag himself, as he's cheating on his wife, and there's that storyline. And that's basically the whole movie. So, my review of Over Your Dead Body. Well, unfortunately, I really wish that this movie was just the actual movie about the Japanese story, ghost story, instead of it being like this rehearsal fake part of the movie, because that was the only thing interesting. And they didn't really tell the story that well, because you get these intermissions of them cutting and then going to the real life of the actor, and it was just not for me. I did not really like this movie, as I just thought it wasn't interesting and boring. And they do get to some horror parts, but it's the classic, you gotta wait 50 plus minutes. And when it does, though, I have to admit, it was pretty good. The practical effects in this movie were actually pretty insane, and the blood was like, it looked really good. The blood was just disturbing. Also, the best part of this movie, easily, but unfortunately, was like very end movie, which, I hate when this happens. There's this part with this fetus, newborn baby part, and this woman is basically eating the brain of the baby. I'm not gonna lie, I 100% wish that was like throughout the whole movie. That's why I just don't like that, because you get 30-40 seconds of some of the craziest shit you've ever seen in your life, and then the other hour and 20 minutes was just complete boringness. I can't stand that, because it was so good. It was very good. And then you just don't get anything, because that was it. 40 seconds of just pure amazing horror. uh yeah. But another thing that was really good about this movie, though, was like the theater prop. They put a lot of effort into it, and I guarantee if this was like a real theater thing that you went to, it'd be pretty entertaining. But yeah, so my recommendation for over your dead body. So, with this movie, I am seriously thinking about making another class because this is definitely a movie I would not recommend because it was just so boring. But I don't want these movies that I'm putting in the not recommended section not to be viewed because this easily has one of the craziest parts I've ever seen in a movie with the baby eating part. And it's like, I want people to watch things like that, but I also want them to know that this movie was a complete snooze fest up to that part. So yeah, I would not recommend this, but this movie and a couple others recently are literally making me just consider making a new category. So, yep.